Shalom Israel, shalom. Right, brother Kalakayash. Coming back with another prophecy update. And before I get started, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach, wa Malak Yahushai, Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh, but the true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. It means He exists. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, His name is Yahweh Shai, and it means He to deliver. The Most High God, Yahweh, sent His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, to redeem the world, which that world is the world of Israel, which consists of the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American man, woman, and child, the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Right, shalom, right to the tabernacle of David, right to the house of David, to the hopeful elect, and the elders that have been doing this thing before us, paving the way, and we have just entered into their labors. So, shalom, right? Pray that you had a mighty day of atonement, Feast of Tabernacles, whether you kept it, keeping it, or about to keep it. Like, Lord willing, this is the last one, and the next one we keep is in the kingdom of heaven. So we got to watch these prophecies. That's what this thing is about. So I'm going to start off with that. I'm going to go to Revelation 19. We have to continuously watch these prophecies to understand, to gauge the times we're coming. And the Lord says, if you want to know when He's coming back, watch these prophecies. Revelation 19 and verse number 10. And I fell at His feet to worship Him. And He said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant. And if thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai, worship Yahweh. For the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So we variously hit the same precepts as we go over these prophecy updates. Hey, but there's no expiration date on no precept, right? So to be in the spirit of the Lord, you have to be watching, engaging the prophecies. That's why the Lord said, watch. The Lord was real big on watching, on what was going on, what's about to happen. The Lord said, look, watch, because we don't know. So we see these things happening. We see literally the prophecies coming about. We're living in a time, a second Esdras, and it's just ramping up. But Revelation 3 and 3, and I'll jump straight into the prophecies. Revelation 3 and 3. Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. So the Lord commanded us to watch diligently. So what is the first thing we're going to touch on? We're going to harp on. This is from the ArmyRecognition.com. And it's, what is the Tomahawk missile U.S. President Trump approved for Ukraine? So here it is that World War III is ramping up. Now, hey, look, you could think it's never going to happen if you want. But it's going to happen. War takes a long time. You got to think, I believe the Ukrainian war started in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. I could be corrected if I'm wrong. But it's been going on for, I believe, 3 years now. And look what happened between now and 3 years. So it's just ramping up. And then I was just looking up before I started the video. Putin dropped that arresting missile in November 21st of last year. So we see this thing ramping up. Maybe it'll be the real deal. He'll put nukes on this thing this time. So we're just seeing this thing escalate. But we know. We was at camp last night. I heard a brother had said Rome wasn't built in a day. But in my mind, I didn't say it. I wasn't dealing with the brother at the time. But it's going to be destroyed in an hour. Right? Rome wasn't built in a day, but it will be destroyed in 1 hour. Which Rome being America revised, the revised Roman Empire. This place is going out in 1 hour. So all the toiling and everything that we, all the hell we catch, the affliction, the trials, the temptation, just know that this place is going to be brought down in 1 hour and nothing's coming out of this place but our spirit, Lord willing. So what is the Tomahawk missile U.S. President Trump approved for in Ukraine? U.S. President Donald Trump announced the U.S. will provide Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine under strict U.S. control, he literally put his foot in the mouth because he can't control Zelensky. So just saying, if Zelensky get the missiles and he just blows up Moscow, right? So by what he's saying is the U.S. allowed it to happen. So basically saying, I'm gonna give them these missiles, but they can't use them how they want to use them. We're under control. But the Lord's in control. The chariots of the Lord shut down these missile silos and things of that nature. So the Lord is in control. It's under Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's control. They're showing you the stoutness and the pride of Esau. The move marks a major shift in America's weapons policy and could reshape the balance of power in Europe. And it is. It's going to bring about World War III. Right? It started off in Europe, but it's going to shift to the Valley of Jehoshaphat in the Saudi Gulf region, right, in the so-called Middle East. So I'm going to read a little bit more. During the interview On October 6, 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed that the United States is ready to deliver Tomahawk cruise missiles to allied nations, including Ukraine, under a framework ensuring the missiles remain under U.S. operational control. The decision marks a significant evolution in Washington's military support model, expanding access to high-precision strike systems while maintaining American command authority. It matters because the deployment of Tomahawks could transform Ukraine's long-range capabilities and intensify strategic pressure on Russian forces, and it will. And it will. Here's a picture of them right here. And it absolutely will. The Tomahawk is a long-range subsonic cruise missile used by U.S. forces for precision strikes against high-value targets up to 1,600 kilometers away. So this is beautiful. This is actually beautiful. So I'm going to get a precept. I had it pulled up before, but Jeremiah chapter 50. And, hold on, let me just do it like this. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse number 22. Jeremiah 50 and verse number 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. So these war drums is beating. Verse number 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? And we're seeing it. Because what, by Trump sending these Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine, what is he doing? He's fighting a proxy war. Let's see what a proxy war is. A proxy war is a war fought between two states that are not themselves officially involved, often one in which one or more of the active parties in the conflict is not a country or state. So it's basically like a middleman, so to say. Ukraine's like the middleman. So they're fighting, but they're just not all out, got their face out there. So this is war that we're witnessing. A sound of battles in the land. And eventually this battle, these little battles, this escalation is going to lead up to World War III. And eventually Babylon will be broken asunder and destroyed. That's what we're witnessing. We're witnessing prophecy. All right, so I'm going to go to the next slide. Let me see. I'm just going to go in order. So again, we got more than 200 Chicago flights delayed at O'Hare Midway amid government shutdown. So the government is shut down. Right, the government shut down. I believe today's the 11th day, the 12th day. And the way it's looking like it's not going to come back up. So people is getting laid off. Eventually, it's at a federal level. Eventually, it's going to trickle down to a state and local level. And this is right all at the time of the so-called New Year about to come in, where a shift is going to occur. So we're living in times of unsurety, scarcity, but again, a time of belief and cleaving and having faith in the Most High, because the Lord had us here for a times and a half a time, but that time is coming short. The time of America sustaining us and feeding us and nourishing us is coming to an end. Now we're going to have to depend on and rely on the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh, in His name, and only begotten His only begotten Son, and the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai. This is what this whole thing is about. This place is not going to last too much longer. It's coming to an end. Now I'm going to read this. More than 200 Chicago flights delayed at O'Hare Midway amid government shutdown. The delays come as dozens of runners from across the country are flying into Chicago for the 2025 Bank of America Chicago Marathon Sunday. So it says days after airport staffing shortages sparked by the federal government shutdown led to flight disruptions and ground delays at airports across the country. More than 200 flight delays were reported at Chicago's busy O'Hare and Midway International Airports Thursday. The Chicago Department of Aviation Flight Tracking website Fly Chicago showed. So, what is this thing, or what should come to your mind? And that's another thing too. When you read these prophecies, you have to train your mind to when you read these events, rather the news, the politics and geopolitics, things of that nature. You have to train your mind to not only with just the news, but just on a day-to-day to think about a prophecy, because there's a lesson and there's a prophecy there's a scripture, Salaki. There's a scripture for everything, whether it be in life, whether it be somebody say something to you, or whether it be you see something. These scriptures should always be in your mind, right? But I don't want to turn that. I don't want to stray away. But matter of fact, I'm just gonna get this. So I believe it's. Hold on. I know it's Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter. All praise to the Most High. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. I'm gonna read from the top. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth. That's right. So we gotta be remembering the Lord while we have time. Right? While we have time, while we have this grace and mercy period. Before everything is shut down, before we lose our jobs. We gotta build up that faith and that trust and that relationship in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai now, in the days of our youth. While the evil days come not, now we see them coming. Nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Why the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. And the doors shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So the Lord is about to shut this place down again. More lockdowns, more job losses, more people getting their benefits taken away, more protests, more riots, more civil wars, more everything. This is what's coming, and the men of the Lord is gonna proclaim this. There's no peace. There's no peace coming to this place. You have to understand that. How much more can the Lord say it through the Lord? Just at this point, the Lord just got to do it. Isaiah chapter 48, verse number 22. There is no peace, saith Yahweh, unto the wicked. Isaiah 57 and 21. There is no peace, saith my God, to the wicked. And this place is wicked. Not only is the rulership wicked, but the Lord said in Sirach, the 10th chapter, there was never a righteous ruler of Babylon. Sirach 10 and 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. There was never a prudent man in office. They were all racist. They were all Edomites. They were all, Obama was a damn Hamite. And they never instructed their people in the way of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So what eventually has that led to? Verse number 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. What are we waiting for? Verse number 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of Yahweh, and in due time he will set over one that is profitable. Because it's going to be work in the kingdom of heaven, right? It's going to be job fairs. Everybody's going to have a job in the kingdom of heaven. Nobody's going to be losing their job. Everybody's going to have something to do in the kingdom of heaven. It's going to be beautiful. You're not going to have to worry about losing your job. You're going to have a job. It may not be the job you want, but nevertheless, you're going to have a job in the kingdom of heaven. We'll make sure of that if we be them men. You don't worry about losing your job when the righteous are in authority. All right? So I'm going to read again. I'm going to go to the next one. More than 200 Chicago flights delayed at O'Hare Midway amid government shutdown. So the flights is getting messed up, and then we're going to segue to this. Political.com. IRS furloughs nearly half its workforce, shuttering most operations. After a 5-day reprieve following the initial government shutdown, employees are being notified of widespread service stoppages, but implementation of GOP tax cuts will continue. The IRS said it was furloughing nearly half of its workforce and shuttering most operations Wednesday, but will continue to work to implement President Donald Trump's signature tax cuts. Work on preparing for next year's tax filing season will also continue, but numerous operations will be halted, including taxpayer services like call site operations. So I've been saying this for years now. We may get America, Babylon may get its taxes, it may not. If no one gets their income return, all hell's gonna break loose. All hell will break loose, but we'll see. I thought 5 years ago, surely the taxes was gonna start rolling out, but then again, we'll see. But again, everything is being brought low. Remember, and all this is gonna bring forth a famine. All this is gonna bring forth chaos in the streets. People is losing their job, right? So that concludes with. I line that up again with the days of the grinders being brought low. So I'm going to go to this NBCnews.com. Trump says hostages will be released Monday or Tuesday as he plans to travel to the Middle East. So he was shooting for the peace. He keeps trying to bring peace. And we just read what the prophet Isaiah seen. The Lord said there's no peace to the wicked. Let me go to what we know. It says the deal announced. President Donald Trump announced last night that the first phase of the plan to end the conflict in Gaza has been agreed to. It includes a pause in fighting and the release of Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners. So Trump's to travel to Egypt. Trump said he plans to travel to Egypt for an official signing of the ceasefire deal and opening remarks at his White House cabinet meeting. So he's looking to be the Prince of Peace. Let me go there real quick. Let me close that out. Pull another tab up. Let me see. What's this man looking for? He wants the Nobel Peace Prize. It's from 19 hours ago. Trump speaks with Nobel Peace Prize winner Mikado after his administration denounced the decision to award it to her. I wonder why he did that. Because he know he about to bring war. That's why. U.S. President Donald Trump spoke on Friday with Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado after his administration denounced the committee awarding her the honor. And that, man, it's something a bit more to it. This man tried to be the Prince of Peace, but it's nothing but war coming to this place. As we went into a couple weeks ago, they changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. So hey, look, I got this too. I'll get it. Just showing you the hate towards our people. It says Donald Trump slams ridiculous Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show pick. He said he never heard of him, which he probably didn't. But the point is, it says it's just showing you the hatred that they're brewing and gearing towards our people. President Donald Trump weighed in on Bad Bunny being named the halftime show headliner of the 2026 Super Bowl, slamming the pick as absolutely ridiculous. So they're just aiding in the more, and the race war is about to kick off. So I'll just get a precept since it came to my mind. I don't want to forget it. Matthew chapter 24. Matthew 24 and verse number 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, or anointed, or Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And that's what we're reading about. We're hearing about wars and rumors of wars. We're seeing atomic missiles. I didn't get it pulled up, but I'll pull it up. Kiev is blacked out. Now, I don't know if the power came back on, but the power went out in Kiev. And that could be a direct result of Trump approving of the Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. Then Russia probably cut the power out. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So we're living in the beginning of sorrows. We can't it's only a matter of time before the sorrowful days come. Remember, we have to get fully build up on our most holy faith. As Yahushua, but as Jude said, we have to build up on our most holy faith, because at the end of the day, that's all that's going to get us out of here is faith. It's faith in the Most High. Again, these are the beginning of sorrow, but I went here, nation against nation. Ethnos against ethnos. Different races of people against different races of people. That's race wars in the Bible. And they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. Let me go to the next one. So it says, this from NBCnews.com. Trump keeps threatening to use the Insurrection Act. What is it? President Donald Trump has said repeatedly he could invoke the 1807 statute, which gives the president the power to deploy the U.S. military domestically. President Donald Trump suggested numerous times this week that he can invoke the sweeping presidential powers granted by the Insurrection Act if necessary. What is the Insurrection Act? Let's see. Hold on, depending on how long this is, I'll play it. Let me see. I might just have to look it up myself. Let's see.
Protesters clashing in Chicago and Portland, Oregon. President Trump now says he would consider invoking the Insurrection Act to send the military into those cities if the courts block his deployment of National Guard troops.
We have an Insurrection Act for a reason. I do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up.
That federal law that dates back to 1807 gives the president emergency powers to deploy the military to suppress what he deems as a rebellion or civil unrest. Illinois and its Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker is suing to block Trump's plan to send roughly 200 troops to Chicago, the governor calling it an unconstitutional invasion. But a federal judge has, at least for now, declined to stop that deployment.
What Donald Trump, I believe, is trying to do, incite it so they can bring more troops in, invoke the Insurrection Act, and militarize Chicago and other major cities.
The president has also attacked Portland as a burning hellhole that he claims has been overtaken by left-wing domestic terrorists.
Portland is on fire. Portland's been on fire for years.
Targeting the Democratic-led city a day after a federal judge, a Trump nominee, blocked him from sending National Guard troops there.
I think that's all insurrection. I really think that's really criminal insurrection.
Local authorities are...
You can't, call halal Yahweh Shemal Shai. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. So the Lord told us, man, we gotta, these words are faithful and true. I'll get that too. Luke 12, verse number 49. I am come to send fire on earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? So this fire is kindled. And he what did Trump say? A burning. See, the prophets seen this. They seen this thing play out. It's escalating. Hey, we living in these times. We living in these times, man. Verse number let me get verse 50. But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I? And how am I straight until it be accomplished? And that's we, all the believers in this truth, we have a baptism that we have to go through. When you read it in a different translation, it says, I have a terrible suffering ahead of me. We have the day, again, these are the beginning of sorrows we're about to enter into. Jacob's trouble, a time like never before, where there's nothing but chaos in the streets. Scarcity of food, no lights, unsurety. We had an Islam brother came up last night. He said, look, I basically hate y'all. I hate the Hebrew Israelites, and I'll choose an Edomite over y'all. That's literally what the brother said. Our people are our enemy. Esau's our enemy. Ham's all we have is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Verse number 51. Suppose ye that I'm come to send to give peace on earth. I tell you nay, but rather division. And that's what the Lord's about to do. He's about to divide this thing up even more. So again, this place is done. This place is done. So what is that in 2nd Ezra where he said, peace in thee, and they shall say no. I probably ain't gonna be able to find it. But again, the Insurrection Act, to send the military in and to do whatever they want to do. I should have brought my sword outside. Let me just try 2nd Ezra 5 real quick. If not, I'll get the precept. 2nd Ezra chapter 5. Is it 5? Yeah, here it go. All praise to the Most High. 2nd Ezra 5 and verse number 8. There shall be confusion also in many places. And that's what we see. It's just going to get more and more. When he finally does invoke this act, when he finally invokes the military is literally everywhere in the major cities, it's just going to trickle down effect. And it's going to be more confusion in every place. And the fire shall be off sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. And you can't forget about the Lord putting a spirit on these animals to get up with people. And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, and they are. That's happening now. What the result of that, or is a YN monster, straight damn demons. Right? We seen before we went out, we had a pre-camp session. You got this little 4 or 5 year old girl, and she walking around saying, word to my deads, word to my hats, word to it. 5 years old, talking like she from Chicago. But really meaning it. Zealous about what she talking about. Just a monster. And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, wisdom, understanding, a stable mind, wit, and understanding withdraw her itself into his secret chamber, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. One land also shall ask another, and say, Is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, No. No. All hell's breaking loose here too. Just like these different apocalyptic movies. They say, well, what about back home? Did they make it? Said, no, that place was the first to go. So that's how it's gonna be, man. So this thing is not a game. Same book. I'm gonna go to the 16th chapter. 2nd Ezra 16 and verse number 70. It says, For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They, who's the they? The Americans, the Edomites, Esau. They, the CIA, the FBI, Homeland Security, the ICE, National Guard. That's the they, man. That is the they. We cannot stress it enough. That's the they. Shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. And then what's a perfect example is a Christian or someone could say, I don't fear the Lord. But when they're raiding these places in Chicago, and I'm going to pull up a video, Lord willing. When ICE or whoever these troops are raiding these buildings in Chicago, they are looking for so-called cartel members. So why are they pulling out so-called African Americans? Why are they pulling out the tribe of Judah? Because they don't care. Just because you don't call on the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, just because you may not fear the Lord, they're looking for, you look like us. You are us. So they coming after you too. Esau, again, a madman does not care. He's going to be like a pit bull with rabies. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in a fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your God. We have to know this and believe it. We're about to go through things that we never went through. Now, I've been in a raid before, but brothers and sisters never been in a raid. Guns in your face, pulled down, mom down, guns in your face, guns in the dog face, a woman naked. It's about to be ridiculous, man. You have to gear and train your mind to what is about to happen. Trust in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. We have nothing else to trust in. This is not a game. This truth is not a game. You need to start counting the cost now. All right, so, and then the Chicago mayor. So more division, CNN.com. It says Chicago mayor reacts to Trump calling for his arrest. And he says, I'm not going anywhere. And of course, this is a Jake. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson joined CNN's The Situation Room to discuss President Trump's call for him to Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker to be jailed over their handling of the administration's immigration crackdown. So what do we have? Division. And I'll end off on this one, but of course I want to get a precept first. Because what did our king say? Did I spell something wrong? Matthew chapter 9, no. Matthew 12 and 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And that's what America's about to be. Desolate. So all this division, all these different acts and policies is going to end. The end result is America being desolate. Babylon being desolate. That's the end result. I'll get that. Jeremiah 50 and verse number 13. Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited. but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and shall hiss at her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she have sinned against Yahweh. All this chaos and all this, the Lord is stirring the pot. The Lord set the timer. Eventually, it's going to be game, set, match upon Babylon. Eventually, it's going to be checkmate. Eventually. So, this from Yahoo.com. It says, Stephen Miller, plenary authority remarks sparks controversy. So it says, Stephen Miller speaks to the media outside the White House in Washington, D.C. on October 6, 2025. In an awkward live TV moment for White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller is under heavy scrutiny on social media. On Monday afternoon, the Donald Trump aide went on CNN's News Central to discuss the president's deployment of the National Guard troop to the U.S. cities. So look this video up. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to play it, but look it up. But he basically let the cat out of the bag. And he said, hey, look, Trump's going to use plenary action. And everybody's like, well, what's this? What's that? What's plenary action? Well, let's get it. Let's look it up. What is plenary action? Plenary authority. Let's get exactly what he said. So it says, the term plenary authority means a power that is full, complete, and wide-ranging, often without practical limits. When applied to public officials, the term plenary power is often used. Absolute and unqualified power. The authority is comprehensive and unrestricted within a specific area. So he's going to use it on immigration. Immigration, it says, Congress holds extensive, though not entirely limitless, plenary power to regulate immigration and naturalization. So basically, he could do whatever he wants to do. Whatever he wants to do, because this man thinks he's who? He thinks he's the Most High. But we're living in a time that the Lord is exposing him and bringing everything to naught. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And this is what we're waiting for Esau to be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. So, if our people don't receive this truth, this devil is going to catch you by surprise. He's going to swallow you up. All right, so continue. Baba Kushal, which is pleasing in Hebrew. Watch these prophecies. Watch over your spirit. And watch for the king to come. Look up, because our redemption truly draweth nigh. All right, so all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Malak, Yahushai. Until next time, shalom to the elect. Shalom.